a lot of content here recently, and it's fun for me. So I apologize for I don't know, 3 or 4 videos a day sometimes. But what I really wanted to highlight for you today is there are, some of our investor interviews here recently have been really, really outstanding. And I wanted to talk about, quite frankly, the last seven, but really highlight, really, I just talk about all seven because the last seven have been special in their own way. And, I think they're worth a listen if they meet your needs. I'm now creating, on average, it seems the last couple of weeks, over an hour of content a day, which I realize is hard to consume. But let's talk about these last seven interviews because if you've missed them, you really should go check them out. So first and foremost, we'll start with Kimba and Robbie. This is a dynamic duo out in Texas who went all in on each other. They are a couple that have created a business together. They were comfortable, right? As you will hear in their story, he was basically the general contractor. They were surviving on. She was very well known, I guess, in cutting hair or styling hair. I guess a hairstylist. Sorry, Kimba, I don't really know. Beautician, maybe? I don't know what they're called. Anyways, they were doing very well, but they were rarely together. So they decided, because he would travel, right? Robbie would travel all over the place. So they broke down and launched a small business. At some point, she said, "Heck with this! I want to put down my scissors and go all in." So that was a great story: inspiration, communication, growth, fear, all of that. So if you're looking at doing something with your significant other, that might be an interview you want to listen to together or listen to by yourself. And if you like it, listen to it together. Then you got Cashflow Chris with a K. He talks about all kinds of different things in real estate, starting with the crash, starting with being a real estate agent, the crash, buying cheap houses in Phoenix, buying apartments out of state, doing new development, infill lots. You can just see the passion that he has. He's called Cashflow Chris because he realizes that flipping and wholesaling is just another job. It could be high paying, but he is very, very big into what I call one rental at a time, what he calls cash flow units. Very, very cool. Then we have our friend Tim Knox out in Huntsville, Alabama, talking about that market and everything that is going for it. I found that conversation interesting. I get asked all the time about out-of-state markets, and I thought that conversation with Tim was excellent. To be clear, I own nothing out of state. Don't plan to, don't have to, not going to. But, you know, thought that was an interesting conversation to share with you all. So then we go to the kind of the four recent ones that just really want to highlight that you might want to go take a look at. First up, I'll talk about Pace. That's Pace. Again, he's an investor out of Arizona. He really gives us a breakdown of a couple of subject to and lease option deals in that video. I mean, he does full whiteboard breakdown. It's freaking awesome. And the reason this is important is I personally believe that whenever this economy tilts into a recession, that there will be plenty of real estate available, maybe with no equity, but they will have great rates on 30-year mortgage fixed loans. So I need to figure it out. I don't know it. I've never done one, but something I look to add to my bag of tricks going forward so I can keep building my passive income is subject to and lease option deals. So I know I've watched that interview again just to break down and see how he works on the whiteboard. Pretty cool. Then we go on to David. David Dodge is a guest that you all liked. I think he was on 3 weeks ago, so we brought him back. And he talks about the MAO, maximum available offer. And again, he is breaking down deals for you. He pulled out a whiteboard and put it on a chair, and we just went for it. There's a little pause. There's a little gap, air gap, like 10 or 15 seconds, kind of at minute 7 or 8, because we actually had to go get a bigger pen, and I don't edit my videos. So other than that little gap, that interview is just fire. It was awesome. Then we have Spencer that just went out yesterday. And Spencer is one you really should pay attention to if you are new. Spencer tells a story about making mistakes and how it's costing him a lot of money and how stressful that is and the mistakes that were made and New investors need to realize that, yeah, bigger pockets and YouTube and Facebook make it look easy. But do yourself a favor and watch Spencer's interview. We do talk about some house hacking in the beginning, which is working for him. But then we go into what's really causing him to be stressed out. And he doesn't hold anything back. And again, if you're new and you think it's easy, watch that video twice. Because, again, you could see it in his face, in his words, in his body language that he is truly stressed. So that's something to watch out for. And then lastly, I did an interview late yesterday that went up from Anthony. He's all excited about BRRRR. If you've watched this channel for any length of time, I think BRRRR is outstanding. I've used it a lot. I just think you got to watch the market, and sometimes the market doesn't work for BRRRR. So we go into it. He had I don't know what he had, probably 12 questions, maybe 11. But we just went through it. He threw them out, and I answered them back. So again, I like talking to new investors. If they're willing to prepare a series of questions, I will, and we can record it. I like doing that. It helps them. It helps you going forward. So lots of great interviews going out. And then I have two scheduled for today, one at noon, one at 3, that are going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you watch those if they fit your needs. And of course, have a great day. Take care. Bye.